Hello everyone, Thempire Ian here with Grey Cat. We have a fun little video for you today. What did you bring me today?
So I was browsing Twitter and the likes and just seeing people try to cope with custom cards to make older cards or just general archetypes better. And I was like, you know what? I think that'd be kind of funny just to see people's copium. Obviously, the first one being Red Eyes, because good lord, is it have an identity crisis.
Yeah, it certainly does. I have long said that Red Eyes as a deck does not have an identity. It has like three. It's got burn, it's got big guys, and it's got rank 7 stuff, but it's also got fusion stuff.
Don't forget all the equips.
And the equip stuff, of course, and you have the Claw of Eremos, sorry, the Eye of Timaeus, Claw of Eremos, which is not nearly as good as Eye of Timaeus.
I forget, is the signature dragon, because I know Timaeus was Yugi, was Joey's the one that revolved around traps, or was it just revolved around equip spells?
Equips, yeah. The Claw of Eremos turns Joey's monsters into equip spells.
Okay, and it was Kaiba's that was a trap.
Yeah.
God.
Kaiba's won the blank of blank.
The one no one plays.
Fuses trap cards with monsters. But they made it work very differently in the card game, so it's even worse than that. And then Yugi's just fusion summons his cool boss monsters, which is why it's the best one of the three.
Well, yeah, because it's like, what? Isn't there like 3 different combinations?
It's also just that, like, the way the card works, you could just float any Dark Magician into a big guy. It's crazy. Eye of Timaeus is the best card in the Dark Magician deck. It's just you can't search it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't Eye of Timaeus the one to where like you can't search it, even though it's technically a Dark Magician card?
Correct.
But according to the rulings, it's like, well, it doesn't say Dark Magician.
Yeah, it doesn't mention it exactly, so it doesn't count, and that's why the deck is bad. If you could search Eye of Timaeus, I actually think Dark Magician would be quite strong.
But nah, it ends on Dark Dragoon.
Yep.
Which this is just pretty much Dark Dragoon, but with more steps.
Let's take a look at this. So this is in the Ixies family of the Red Eyes stuff. Legendary Red Eyes Black Dragon. It's a rank 9 requiring 2 level 9 monsters. VW anyone?
God.
You could also Ixies summon this card using a Red Eyes Ixies monster you control as material. Transfers material to this card. Of course, that makes sense. So you probably put this on top of Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, because that's the only one.
I forgot. I was trying to think. It's like, what other Red Eyes XCs cards are there? And I think it's just Red Eyes Flare.
So it's got to be better than Flare, and Flare is like the best Red Eyes card. So it's got to be pretty good to be better than that. Cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. That's fine. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. That's fine. It's a bit of a Towers. While this card has material, each time your opponent activates a card or effect, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent and meet that to resolve, so it's about 300 more than Flare. And then once per turn, you can detach material from this card, search, target a Red Eyes monster in the graveyard, special summon it.
I mean, I don't hate Towers.
I hate Towers with burn effects.
Yeah, Towers with burn effect is annoying because it's like, cool, either I just deal with it and take a million taxes, or I just surrender.
The thing about Masquerade Dragon, right, is that Masquerade Dragon you can remove and it doesn't have the tax effect anymore, even then it comes back. And same thing with Flare Metal, you can just remove it and it doesn't have the tax thing anymore, unless they bring it back. So it's like, and there's not very many ways to bring back a non-normal Red Eyes monster, except for this card. Also, disclaimer up at the front here. This is all in fun. If any of your cards end up on this list here, it's not anything against you or anything. We're just having fun here.
Yeah. Let's be clear, because like I saved a bunch of, well, I saved like 101, but then you had to go through and like take out a bunch of them because I misunderstood the assignment. Because I know how to read and understand. But I was like, a lot of these cards I'm taking because don't get me wrong, I want to see archetypes have new life, have new stuff to them. But there are some cases where I'm just like, that's interesting. Either you make it too overpowered or we just do whatever we want. And that's the fun. That's the fun of all of this.
Yeah. And you know, I encourage you to make your own custom cards, even if I always will encourage creativity. I think it's good. Also, I did my best to remove all the AI arts, and the more that I look at this, the more I think this one might be AI art, unfortunately. I did my best. I'm so sorry if anything comes through.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. It's like a lot of this was AI art, or they just like used the same card art but just changed the text and name.
Yeah, and so it's hard, or fan art. They like stole someone's fan art or made their own fan art and then made a card. And it's hard to tell which of those they did sometimes.
Like if this video was done like 10 years ago, then this assignment would have been a lot easier.
Yeah.
But just a disclaimer that, yeah, there might be some AI art here. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Support artists and all that.
And I did my best to remove it. I removed some really cool reverse synchro god cards.
Did you keep the Chad obelisk?
I think there is an obelisk in here somewhere, but I did have to remove an obelisk as well, because it was an AI art.
Okay, there was like one to where like he was like just standing there, just like dummy thick, just Chad.
I think that was the one.
Like,
yeah.
I was like, this card looks stupid, and I'm putting it in here just because it's obelisk and it looks stupid. But yeah,
I
like that
it was a reverse synchro. That was crazy.
But I was like, okay, cool.
Anyways, back to this card. As a towers, it's actually a relatively weak towers. It could be like banished by non-targeting effects or sent back to hand or sent back to deck. But with 3,800, and it can be destroyed by battle, but with 3,800 attack, that's not likely. I think in like getting to a card that can remove this without burning yourself out of the game seems a little bit rough. But with how bad Red Eyes are, I don't know that that's going to be much of an issue. Although Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon is generic, and so is this card. So you can make this in VW. You can make this in Kashtira.
How do you make in Kashtira? You have 7s.
Yeah, you make a Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon and then slap this on top.
I'm stupid. You're right. Oh god, yeah, that'd be 4 materials. 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
3. Yeah.
Okay. Either way. Oh. But I know the best way to get rid of this card.
Mm-hmm.
Set Albaz Contact Fusion. I have been outed by Set Albaz so many times with Quasar. It makes me so annoyed. I'm like, oh yeah, forget it. This thing's technically a dragon. This is some BS.
You know, I'm realizing you can detach Flare Metal Dragon. As long as you have a Red Eyes monster in the graveyard, you can detach Flare Metal Dragon and then target Flare Metal Dragon and special summon it. So then you have 2 burn effects on the field.
True. Does Flare not require material?
No, I'm pretty sure it does not require material to burn.
I'm not entirely sure.
Might?
I can pull it up. Let me check. Red Eyes Flare Metal. I don't think it does.
I don't remember it requiring, but then again, you never detach. So
no, it does. It does. This card has material. Each time your opponent activates card effect, inflict 500. Yeah, that would have been kind of fucking nutty.
Granted, again, you still need to have a Red Eyes monster in the graveyard to do that in the first place, or have some way to detach Flare Metal Dragon anyways, like with the Goblin Biker or something.
God.
But I think this one, honestly, this one feels like it's kind of fine. Like it might be a little too generic. I might say like it locks you into Red Eyes or something. would be something to put on this to make it playable, but otherwise I think it would be kind of fine.
I mean, we like splashing generic extra deck monsters in every deck, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's too much that way. But then again, we're allowed to just have Dark Dragoon. Although Dark Dragoon's a little harder to make. If you don't have, especially if you don't have Verte, which you don't in TCG.
Yeah, TCG you wouldn't have Verte, so you would have to deal with having the 2 brick. But at that point, why not just play Dark Magician and Timaeus?
Yeah. But honestly, this one's kind of on the fence for me.
Yeah, I don't hate it. As you said before, there are ways to get rid of it. It's a pretty good burn because 1,000 damage, that means 8 activations.
Yeah, that's
so either
kind of nutty.
Well, I mean, what? Tax Dragon's what? 700?
I think, and so is Flare Metal.
Flare is 5.
Flare's 5? Oh, okay.
Okay, so you can get away with Flare's burn effect.
Wow, it's doubled Flares. That's crazy.
I mean, I guess that's the reasoning why, because it's like the evolution of Flare. So
it's interesting though that it is like an evolution of Flare, but it's not called Legendary Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon or whatever.
Yeah, that was the other thing too, that like I keep forgetting that Red Eyes Flare exists because I'm just like Red Eyes monsters I just kind of just ignore, honestly.
Yeah.
I see a Red Eyes deck and I'm like, either I am going to Ash Blossom you or just I'm going to die in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think 5 turns is more accurate.
Okay, yeah, 5 turns if it's like, oh, you Ash Blossom me? Well, shit. Set, pass.
Okay, I think that's enough on this one. You ready for the next one?
What we got?
Augment Dragon Archfiend.
Okay, so what is this based off of?
Oh wait, this is a DM card. I thought this was the Skull Dragon. No, but this is Red Dragon Archfiend.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Well, we can skip this one. This is a Resonator card.
Bye. Yeah. Okay, this is Red Eye's Ultimate Dragon.
This is bad.
This is just the worst Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon.
Correct if I'm wrong. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is 45.
Yeah, I think it's 45. 4,000, and this one is 36 3,000.
Okay, first of all, you are having to play 3 Red Eyes, so already really bad. Like what, you play maximum of 1 if ever?
You have to remember the only reason anyone ever plays Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is to send it to the graveyard to be used as fusion material for something else.
I mean, the only time I've used it is for Magia.
Yeah, stuff like that. This would only ever see that same kind of usage, so it would really depend on what you're using this to go into.
What level is this? I didn't even read. Is it 1, 2, 3? Is it 10?
10, I think. Yeah, which is weird.
Sure. Throw this in for quadratic formula. Like we're doing this for memes, but there's nothing else to say about this one. This one's just like cool.
Pretty good fan art though. Okay, now we have Neo Red Eyes Ultimate Dragon. This is going to be the good one, right?
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like they were like, we need more Blue Eyes fusions, and it's like, okay, cool. We're gonna do. There is a Neo Blue Eyes, correct?
Yeah, there is a Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon.
Okay, I was about to say because I don't play Blue Eyes. I'm sorry. Every time I see a Blue Eyes or a Dark Magician player, I just go like, haha, lose.
I have played my fair share of Blue Eyes because I'm a Yugi boomer at my deepest, darkest soul.
God, okay. So here's what we need to do one time. You set up a Blue Eyes deck. I set up a Dark Magician deck, and we just see who's the better boomer.
Unfortunately, with the new support coming out for Blue Eyes is going to win that 100 times out of 100.
Okay, well that's different.
Okay, so we got another 3 Red Eyes. This is a reference to. So the thing about Red Eyes players is that they are extremely like insecure about their archetype. Which is fair because it's not very good, but they have to have a equivalent for every single Blue Eyes card for some reason. And so here we are making Neo Red Eyes Ultimate Dragon with the 3 Red Eyes Black Dragon, and then at the end of the damage tip, it is the only face-up card you control, and this fusion summon card attacked. You can send 1 Red Eyes Fusion or Xyz monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. This card can attack again in a row. Okay, I think that's literally the same thing.
I think it is.
As the Blue Eyes one, except it says Xyz monster because there's not a Blue Eyes Xyz. Well, at least there wasn't, and now there is in the new wave of support. Because Blue Eyes is also stealing all of Red Eyes stuff now. Xyz used to be Blue Eyes, or used to be Red Eyes and Dark Magician's thing. Now Blue Eyes is stealing it. You could use this effect of Neo Red Eyes Ultra Dragon up to twice per turn. That's again the same thing. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets a Red Eyes monster you control, you can banish this card from your graveyard and negate the activation if you destroy that card. Again, that's the exact same effect as Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, which sees no play.
Literally, someone just like, okay, well, I want to make a Red Eyes version.
It's like we just need to have a Red Eyes equivalent of every single Blue Eyes card, literally.
But considering that I never see it's fan art, but I never see Neo Blue Eyes ever. I see Twin Burst.
Yeah.
But
you never play Neo Blue Eyes. It's not very good.
Yeah, no. The only time I see Blue Eyes is Jet Dragon. I hate Jet Dragon so much.
Jet Dragon is such a cool card.
It's a cool card, but then I forget it in the fucking graveyard. I'm like, oh, I forgot about you. I gotta do a sequence of events first before I can even do a turn.
And then
I like Unga Bunga to turn my brain off sometimes.
They'll make that Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon fusion quite frequently. Yeah, because all it takes is Blue Eyes and one dragon. It's extremely generic as far as that goes. And you can also make it on top of a Blue Eyes that's equipped with something, which will matter with the new support coming up.
Oh, I forgot about this. Oh my god, wait, it is generic. I never actually looked at it.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's honestly not a bad card at all.
No, that's actually pretty decent. Okay, so I'm assuming that
let me see. Hopefully we get a Red Eyes Tyrant Dragon, right? I mean, they didn't. So the thing is, Tyrant Dragon is like an actual card that Kaiba played, and that's why they have that fusion. Joey never played Tyrant Dragon, so we'll probably never see a Red Eyes Tyrant Dragon. But maybe we'll have some equivalent of it. All right, next up. Here's Timaeus.
Okay. Does this just add Dark Magician to the text?
It might. The Will of the Broken-Eyed Dragon Timaeus. Activate only if you control a, Dark Magician or, Dark Magician Girl. We need to put more spaces between the commas, folks. But this does mention Dark Magician now. Target that monster, tribute it, then special summon from your action deck one fusion monster that states Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl as one of the fusion materials. This is treated as a fusion summon. So it has the Timaeus text. You can banish this card from your graveyard, and it has the Timaeus text, but it added the word Dark Magician on it, so you can search it. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one spell from your deck to your hand that mentions Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl. You can only activate one Will of the Broken-Eyed Dragon Timaeus per turn, and only once that turn. You can't special monsters except for spellcaster-type monsters for the rest of the turn that this card effect resolves. Okay.
So going backwards, this would be the last card you activate in sequence, just so that way you're not spellcaster locked. But I mean, if you're playing this card, you're also only playing spellcasters.
Probably, yeah. I imagine you're playing Dark Magician. There are quite a few ways to search Dark Magician cards that are actually named, that actually have the name Dark Magician in them. This essentially gets you access to Timaeus, and then also has a thing that lets you add a spell from your deck to your hand that mentions Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, which can include this card, because it does not include the Will of the Broken-Eyed Dragon Timaeus.
True, didn't have enough text for it.
So you could just cycle this card. I think honestly that's fine, considering that it has to be on the next turn. You can't activate it in the same turn that you search it.
As far as if I'm reading this correctly, you activate paragraph 1, and then you can still activate paragraph 2.
No, it's the effect after that. You can only activate one, the Will of the Broken-Eyed Dragon Timaeus per turn, and only once that turn.
Oh,
I think they've
the
slightly worded it.
Count it.
I think they've slightly worded it incorrectly, but yeah, it's. I think they mean to say you can only activate one effect of the Will of the Broken-Eyed Dragon Timaeus per turn, and only once that turn, because that's like the standard text for that kind of effect. It's just I think they forgot the word.
It would be like a big welcome kind of deal, to where you can't activate both unless you have transaction rollback. Et cetera,
and since it's not a trap, it can't be activated at quick effect speed during the opponent's turn to get that loop going. So it's like every other turn you get to use this card. If you're just cycling this card, that is.
That is the thing with Dark Magician, right? You take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back.
We come together. Opposite subtract. All right. I think it's fine though. This is like like honestly, this might fix the deck. Just having a Tobias card you can search by itself.
Yeah, as we said, the one issue with Dark Magician and Tobias is that it does not search it because, I mean, those cards came out at a point where like they were trying to revitalize Boomer cards, but they didn't know how to do it correctly yet.
Yeah, and
right.
And then they did it. Dark Magician support. Most of what we know as Dark Magician support in the modern age, which again there hasn't really been that much of a wave since then for Dark Magician, unlike Blue Eyes, came right before the huge Blue Eyes wave that made Blue Eyes like a contender in the World's 2016 format.
Yeah.
So Dark Magician kind of got shafted a little bit.
I mean, why would I want to play the? It's not. What's the opposite of Chad mean?
The Virgin.
I can play Chad Blue Eyes. Yeah, I can play Virgin Dark Magician when I can play Chad Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like again, I see, because it's like, okay, cool. I have a self nuke button, but I mean, Blue Eyes has that too. But like, no one plays, as far as I know, no one plays the Blue Eyes self nuke button.
Yeah. I will say though, this card does turn any Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl into just Dragoon. So
true. Oh wait,
instant Dragoon is not bad.
It's not bad.
You have to get a Dark Magician on field though. That is the one thing, and that's not as easy as you might think. It does require you like using Eternal Soul and all that crap, or like time or like Magician Navigation, like Dark Magician Navigation or whatever the hell it's called.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few ways to do it, but none of them are like elegant.
And this being like,
ooh, Magician Soul would do it pretty well.
Yeah, but
I forgot the Magician Soul is quite elegant.
And having to target and whatnot just makes it like a lot harder to try to activate quickly.
Yeah, I mean, at least with Magician Souls, which is also searchable off of the ritual guy that searches. Yeah, you can do it on your turn, and then that, and then like as long as they don't remove your Dark Magician before you do so, it gives you some good turn one options, I think.
Yeah, you can pivot really well with this one. Really depends on what your opening hand is, but knowing my luck, I'm gonna draw 3 Ash Blossoms and like I'll draw a full house of something I desperately do not need.
Yeah, I don't know that this makes it. Yeah, certainly not like meta in the current format where you need to. Although maybe it could depending on how we'll see how the Blue Eyes does with the new structure deck. I'm curious to see how well that will perform. It seems quite strong, but like it does run light on hand traps, so I'm not sure how well it'll perform. But yeah, this one seems kind of in line with that level of support, I would say, which is a triumph for Dark Magician.
So out of the cards so far, I would say this one kind of I kind of fuck with this one. This one's pretty nice.
Yeah. All right, next one, Illusionist Dimension. So
disclaimer: the person commented on this one and said they wanted to connect Dark Magician with the Illusionist archetype.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it's kind of here. And I saw that and I was like, okay, that makes sense because the Dark Magician cards reference Illusionist all the time, and fighting against Pegasus in the first arc kind of works. Considering that Illusionist is just like, since Yugi's other cards, like the Chimera cards, are illusion monsters. Yeah, I think that really works really well.
All right. Let's take a look here. You can only use each effective Illusionist Dimension once per turn. You can special summon from your extra deck the turn you act. You cannot special summon from the extra deck the turn you activate either this card's effects, except for fusion monsters. Okay, that's a decent lock. That's going to require some good cards good effects to back it up. Target one Illusionist monster you control, tribute it, and if you do, special summon from your deck one Illusionist monster with a different name, or if you control a Dark Magician, you can special summon one Illusion monster instead. Then you can destroy one monster on the field. Okay. If this card is banished, you can place it at the bottom of your deck, and if you do, draw one card. The second effect is neat, but that's about it. So we really have to focus on the first effect.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not going to talk much about the second effect. But I just want to know how we're triggering this second effect.
I don't know. Maybe there's
other
something
than
in the Illusionist monsters.
I don't play enough Illusionist monsters to give an opinion.
I literally couldn't tell you what a single Illusionist monster does. I know what some of the Illusion monsters do, but I don't know what any of the Illusionist monsters do.
Okay, so when it says Illusionist, like Illusionist, the typing, correct?
No, it means Illusionist, like the card text.
Oh, God.
Because they also have Illusion Monster down here. You can special summon one Illusion Monster instead. Illusionist is like... Oh, what are the... Illusionist, Faceless Mage, Dark Eyes Illusionist, Flip, target one monster on the field. It cannot attack while this card is not face up on the field. Terrible.
Chief, I want to be real with you. There's only Dark Eyes Illusionist, Illusionist Faceless Mage, Illusionist Faceless Magician, Jongler, which is the normal, Metal Illusionist, and Millennium Eyes Illusionist. Those are the only Illusionist monsters.
There is Metal Illusionist, which is actually a good card. It's part of the new Heavy Metal.
True, I'm looking at it right now.
Metal Morph Max, I think is what it's called now in the TCG. And that card gets you into the whole Heavy Metal archetype, or the Metal Morph archetype, which is actually quite strong.
Okay, wait a minute.
But doesn't really work with Dark Magician, so I don't know what's going on.
No, it doesn't work with
there.
Dark Magician, but I mean, if you want to do this, it's something.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're not
you
using.
You have to already have an illusionist on the field, and then swap it out with another illusionist.
They were so close.
Yeah, I feel like if it just special summoned an illusionist, like if you're gonna lock yourself into fusions, I feel like the least it could do is just give you an illusionist monster for free.
Yeah, let me. What is? Okay, there's Chimera Fusion, Chimera to Fly Mythical. No, I need the Chimera the Illusion Beast. Okay, I feel like if it said, illusion and not illusionist.
Oh, it would be crazy. Yeah. If it said that, it would be crazy.
Because then that would also connect to Yugi's archetype in Dual City.
Yeah.
But the Chimera stuff. But because of the restriction just saying illusionist, you lose out on all these cards and you're restricted to, funny enough, the villain Pegasus.
Yeah.
So you did it backwards here.
It's interesting. It kind of like locks you into Pegasus stuff unless you have Dark Magician, and then it lets you do anything else, which is I think kind of interesting, but not worth the fusion lock. And also, it's a weird effect to do this like tag out thing and not have it be a quick play. Like that's like a tip. Like that's like a Swallow's Nest, right? Except it's not a quick play. They didn't like. I think this would be fine as a quick play, and it would be like a cool Swallow's Nest effect for illusionist monsters. But as is, I think it's kind of nothing.
I did misspoke because I forgot about the Dark Magician clause.
Yeah.
If you have that Dark Magician, you do go into Yugi's archetype, which does work. But as said before, you need to control a Dark Magician, which is already hard enough to get on the field.
Yeah.
So you would have to do this like. This would have to be like your second or third play, because again, you're going to be fusion locked, so you're going to be going straight into the Chimera line afterwards.
Yeah, and it's one of those fusion locks that's like psychic, so you can't have fusion summoned or done anything other than fusion summons before you activate this card, either. It's like branded fusion.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that can see into the past and be like, you already did a link summon, you cannot activate me.
I can't speak because I know, I assume you go Mirror Sword Knight's effect. But that's also speaking of if you already have a way to get Dark Magician out and this card already in hand. That's two With Sword Knight, that's 3. Starting hand is 5. So you have 2 other cards to play with, but you are required to have at least 3 definite starters to make this card work.
Yeah. You could go from Jongular Ghoul Illusionist into Metal Illusionist. You could rescue Rabbit into Jongular Ghoul.
If you actually pull off Rescue Rabbit to summon Jongular,
the Jongular,
you do that at my table, I'm going to put my hand down and just let you play because I want to see what the fuck you're doing. Because there ain't no way you just summon Jongular on me.
And the funniest thing is, I think that play is actually worse than just using those 2 Jongular Ghouls to make the rank 4 illusion monster.
God.
All right, next up.
Okay.
Dark Magician. Bond between illusionist and magician. I think this is part of the same.
Yes, because the guy, I think the guy had like he had like a bunch of cards all at once.
Yeah, there's a couple of these that are like part of a wave of support, so we'll have some interesting stuff there. You can only use each effective bond between illusionist and magician once per turn. When you activate this card, you can also reveal 1 dark magician monster in your hand and add illusionist monster in your deck to the hand. Then if you control a dark magician, or if you revealed one when you activated this effect, you can send 1 illusion monster from your deck to the graveyard. Okay, so that adds an illusionist and sends an illusion. Ooh, keeping illusionist and illusions straight is going to be a little difficult. If this card is banished, you can place it on the bottom of the deck, and if you do draw 1 card. Okay, so that's like a theme of the archetype here we're trying to build. That's kind of funny.
I don't know what, because again, I don't know a lot about illusion monsters, or if there's like somebody down the line to where this guy has a card that says, I now banish cards from my graveyard to draw.
Mm-hmm.
But like the second clause that they're putting in is, as you said, a great theming. But I don't know how to make this. I don't know how to do that unless I DD Crow myself. But can you even DD Crow yourself? You can't.
I don't think you can. No. Maybe you need to play Malice and then banish them that way.
Yeah, you can't. You can't target a card in your own graveyard with Crow. So like I don't.
But you can't. What you can do is you activate Shifter before you play.
Oh my god! Yeah, this is where Shifter comes to play. Is Shifter banned in TCG? I don't recall.
No. For some reason, it is not. For some unknown reason, it is not banned or limited in any way.
Play Shifter, and then go crazy. Then you get to go plus.
This is like a hella Shifter deck. Oh wait, I just realized I misread this. It's not a Dark Magician monster. It's a Dark Magian monster.
Oh, yep. That misspelling's actually going to be a ruling error, and you're going to be like, nah.
I don't have any Dark Magian.
God, could you imagine like some people be like getting pissed off about that? Be like, actually?
I wonder if that happens on Dueling Book. Dueling Book has like a custom cards ladder you can do, which sounds like a miserable time because everyone's just going to come up with like.
Fuck that.
I remember somebody made a video so long ago. I can't remember who or when, but it was a video where they made a custom card that was just like a hand trap that says, if you activate a custom card that instantly wins you the game, I instantly win the game instead. They just like did that over and over again. Like so many of the custom cards in that format are just, I activate this card and I win the game.
That's so stupid. I hate it.
So they made a card that's like, if you use an alt win condition, I win the game instead. And they just won so many games off of that. That was incredible. But like, I imagine in the custom card format, there's a lot of people who get mad about misspelling. They're like, that's not a Dark Magician card. It's a Dark Magian card.
You're like, sorry, I don't have spell check on my computer.
Sorry, Dueling Book does not have spell check. Doesn't work there. Anyways, ignoring that.
The theming, other than the second paragraph clause, the first paragraph again, with a distinction of illusionist monster, it's so iffy. But then the second part, like, we're all okay.
At least there is one good illusionist monster, Metal Illusionist.
Yeah, that is the one. And then the second part, if you control a dark magician or you revealed one, sending an illusion monster to the graveyard is like so good.
Yeah,
because that means that like there's so many like illusion monsters that activate in grave as a quick effect, which is so annoying.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, this one's actually quite good, I would say.
Yeah, we're gonna ignore the first comma. God, there's so many commas in the first clause. I feel like it'd be semicolon somewhere.
Sometimes you just don't know how to write problem-solving card text. I'm sure the custom cards I've made for my show have some mistakes in the problem-solving card text because I'm not perfect at it either.
But yeah, I guess at the before the then, if we lose all that, then I think it's great.
Yeah. And then the then just becomes icing on the gravy, as I said in a React video for some reason.
I think it's another good one.
Mixed up fucking icing on the cake and
no,
gravy on
icing
top.
The gravy is
icing on the
good.
gravy. It's just incredible.
I'd eat that.
Yeah?
Why not? Some salty and sweet.
It seems a little bit too rich for my taste. Let's move that on the next one. Okay, we got a monster, an illusionist monster. Something for us to search, something for us to tag out into or from.
Oh,
Illusionist Kuriboh. This is a neat little art. I hope it wasn't AI. It doesn't look like it.
Art by Moonright on Twitter.
Oh, perfect. Awesome.
Perfect.
We love to see it. And credited artist too. That's really cool.
Thank God.
You can only use the first and third effect of Illusionist Kuriboh once per turn. If you're
opponent, I get it.
If you're op. I got ops on the other side of the table.
I get it. It's a save card text space, but like if we want to make this official, like you guys spell out opponent, but whatever.
I know we're doing in the OCG way. This is how I write mine as well. I write mine in the OCG way with the numbers. I don't use the fancy little number things because I don't want to waste time doing that. But you know, I still do that number kind of clause, and I think that's a good way. But also writing OP instead of opponent is a little silly.
Yeah.
Activates a card or effect while you control a face-up illusionist monster. Quick effect. You can discard this card, negate the activation. What the hell? Then if you control a dark magician, you can destroy that card.
Wait.
That's crazy. What the hell? This is an omni negate.
That's wild.
Now I'm really confused as to why that earlier one wasn't a quick effect to tag out. So that you could make sure you keep an illusionist monster on the field to use this negate for. If this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by battle. The illusion tag.
Yeah, the typical illusion effect, yeah.
If you would take damage, you can special summon this card to your graveyard instead, but banish it when it leaves the field.
Okay, so we're searching for this card.
This card's crazy.
This has illusionist in its title.
Yeah.
And it's illusion monster. And it's archetypable to Yugi, so like this works. This is very good, but holy, that first effect.
This card's insane.
That first effect is gonna be I'm playing 3 of this thing. That's an omni negate.
Yeah, and then also after you use it, it's in the graveyard to be brought back to blank damage.
Yeah, that's like we have to keep clause 2 because that's an illusion monster effect in general.
Although there's so many illusion monsters that don't have it now. They just released even more recently.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, the Regenesis archetype just doesn't have the illusion clause on one of the monsters that are illusion monsters. It's crazy.
That's the whole gimmick.
I don't know. Sometimes they just have too much card text on a card and they can't fit that little text in.
But yeah, Clause 2, totally fine. Clause 3, okay, it's a Kuriboh thing, so like I can understand it.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of icing on the gravy, you might say.
Yeah, but giving it an omni. Now, granted, if you also control Dark Magician, you get a little icing on the gravy.
Yeah, but
like it's still an omni.
Yeah, I will say though, you do have to control a face-up illusionist card, and all of them are dog shit except for the one except for Metal Illusionist, as far as I can tell.
Keep saying over and over. Unless
Metal
again, this guy
Illusionist
brings
doesn't.
up more.
Metal Illusionist isn't good on the field. It's good in that it gets you into the metal morph stuff. So this requires you to keep one on field, which I think is a cost for playing this Omni negate.
It's like, I mean, an Omni is not bad.
Is there like maybe there's like a decent? There might be one more decent Illusionist somewhere or something.
No, I looked them all up, Chief. They were only those 5 I listed. I mean, yes, technically you could use no, that's Chimera. Okay, there it is. You could technically use Faceless Magician, but it's not good.
Yeah.
That requires using the restrict or the relinquish monster. So like at that point, again,
you're like jamming 3 archetypes in this Illusionist archetype, the relinquished, and the Dark Magician stuff.
And Dark Magician already requires so much space.
It does.
So like this isn't really worth it. Plus also it's like a level 5. So like it's already hard enough to do.
Yeah. So I think this is actually quite fair, unless there's another Illusionist that's coming right up next.
Yeah, let's see.
Nope. It's Exodia.
Original Exodia, though.
We've moved on from the Illusionist stuff. Now it's Exodia time, baby.
Okay, so the Kuriboh and the card before that, fantastic.
Yeah, and then the other card was okay.
Yeah, I feel like, again, bring out more Illusionist or change the text on that, and I think it's perfect.
Yeah, I think it needs like one good Illusionist boss monster to sit on.
Oh, God.
All right.
I already read the first sentence and I hate it.
The unenviable Phantom of Exodia. You can ritual summon this card with Contract with Exodia in place of Exodia Necros. You will notice that Contract of Exodia is not a ritual spell because Necros is not a ritual monster. But whatever. Unaffected by non-targeting card effects, if this card is special summon with the Millennium of Exod. What? I guess that's the one we're going to come up next, maybe?
Yeah, I was about to say...
You could destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Okay. Once per turn, when the monster effect is activated, quick effect, you can negate the activation. Once per turn, during the end phase, you can banish one card from your hand face down. Place one Forbidden One monster from your deck, graveyard banishment on top of the deck. During the standby phase, lose 1,000 life points, or banish this card face down, 5,000 attack, 0 defense. 69th edition, nice! Shut up. Oh, and look, it's also Pen 15 for the set.
Oh, we love it. Okay, so...
Oh, and the serial number is 42069 too.
Oh, we love it.
Great stuff. Good.
So, as you mentioned, Contract with Exodia is just banishing all your Exodia pieces in the graveyard to special summon Exodia Necros. So you would have to entirely change Contract with Exodia. So you would have to reprint it as a ritual card to make it work? Question mark?
I think so. I don't. This is weird. I think what Unenviable Phantom is doing is rewriting what Contract of Exodia does to make it summon Exodia. Because we have seen cards that aren't ritual cards that can ritual summon.
Yeah.
So this is basically adding a little bit of text on the Contract of Exodia by its pure existence.
Instead of having a specific ritual card, which I know that's like the whole like gimmick, right? But I mean, I'm also looking. Apparently, there's a card called Contract with the Abyss. This card can be used to ritual summon any dark ritual monster. You must also tribute monsters from your hand and field whose total levels equal exactly the level.
Yeah.
So like you could use that one.
You could just normally ritual summon this guy because it just says you can ritual summon this card with Contract with Exodia instead of you must. So yeah, this guy can be ritual summoned with basically any ritual card. It's just also you can use Contract with Exodia. And then that sets up your Forbidden One monsters to be put back on top of your deck, although they also can just be put from the deck on top of the deck, so it doesn't really matter which way you do it.
Am I gonna tilt my glasses and say with the second sentence, unaffected by non-targeting card effects? We're like, okay, cool, I target and it still targets.
Yeah, it is affected by targeting effects, which is funny.
Like, this card's invulnerable. It can't be hit with anything. Imperm. What the fuck? Wait a minute. That's not allowed.
And if it's special summon with this other card that we don't have yet, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. That's like fine. It does have 5,000 attack, so that's like something. It has a negate on a monster effect. This thing has like 7 effects.
Yeah, it keeps going.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 effects. I was so close. It's 6 effects, not 7.
Nah, that's too many. I think
7 would
5
be
should
too
be
many,
fine. I feel like the standby phase payment is fine. I don't really know much about the Millennium cards. I know that they're kind of wonky. They play like, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, they play like Flame Burge and Snake Eye and all that BS3 going Spell and Trap Zone.
No.
No?
What that
fine.
is that was Snake Eyes playing the Millennium cards as free high-level bodies to do like rank 6 stuff. And Fiendsmith help crap. You know, it was a Snake Eyes Fiendsmith thing. What Millennium does is it sits on the big bungus man, and it plays like, it's like every single card in the deck is designed to get you to Millennium Ankh, which then makes the unstoppable Exodia incarnate. And it's one of the most consistent decks ever made, but it's also not particularly good. And part of the reason why is that every standby phase it loses you 1,000 life points. So this isn't fitting with that theme.
I'm gonna be real. Stop making Exodia archetypes. I really do not care whenever I see my opponent like starts drawing a million cards. I'm like, okay, either I'm about to get Slash Drawed or I'm about to get Exodia'd. And I better hope that this Ash Blossom pops off.
Well, to be fair, the new Exodia deck does like not. It allows people to play Exodia without doing stupid Exodia FTK stuff. Instead, they're trying to OTK.
Okay, same thing, but still.
So this guy actually kind of works in tandem with the Unstoppable Exodia Incarnate, because an Unstoppable Exodia Incarnate has a spell negate, a spell trap negate. This guy has a monster negate. So together they can negate anything.
Fair enough.
The fact that it speeds up your ability to win with the alt win con of Exodia is a little win more, honestly. Like, if you haven't already won with this guy's massive attack stat and Unstoppable Exodia Incarnate's massive attack stat, what are you doing?
I'm playing with my food is what I'm doing. I'm making my opponent suffer because they made me sit through a 20-minute combo. Legit took 20 minutes. Gishki ritual.
Like, there's just no way you're making it to turn 5. Your turn 5, I should say. Turn 10 to add the last Forbidden One monster to your hand.
Yeah, no.
Actually, you have to go to your turn 11 to actually draw into it, right? Or no, to turn 12. You got to go to turn 12 to draw into it.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Your turn 6, turn 12, you know, or possibly turn 11, depending on whether you went first or second.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Do the other Millennium effects have this? Is that it says during the standby phase? So like that means during your standby phase and the opponent's standby phase.
Oh, yeah. I think Unstoppable only does it during your standby phase, or is it during the end phase? I don't remember if it's which one it is.
Let me Millennium.
But I'm pretty sure it's only one of them instead of both of them. Oh yeah, you were going to die from life point loss before you finish placing all the Exodia pieces on the deck.
Yeah, no, this doesn't work. Like I was kind of for it, but then it's just like, wait a minute, you can't. You'll die.
I think.
Yeah, what's returned during your standby phase?
Yeah, I think maybe they forgot to write the your standby phase, but it's also. I think there is one card that gains you life points in the Exodia in the Millennium deck. I don't remember on that.
I couldn't tell you, Chief.
because it's not a very relevant effect, because usually you just OTK them before you lose or they lose before you get to that point. But the Millennium deck does cost a lot of life points. Like, that's like the whole idea, is because like the more life points you take to get to Exodia, the weaker Exodia is when you get there. So it's like, it's a matter of trying to get to Exodia without spending too many life points, so you can make it the biggest it can be. Because Unstoppable Exodia gains attack equal to the amount of life points you have. So this seems not particularly great.
No,
it seems pretty bad, actually.
On a side note, with an official card, I didn't know this card existed. Exodia, the Legendary Defender.
Yeah. This is an actual art. You can even see the signature there.
No, this is just the same card. It's the same card art.
Yeah.
I just saw the second sentence of you would just win the duel if you do a certain amount of like work to put into it.
Yeah.
But like that, again, that's too much effort, too much work. That's why I'm like, Exodia is just like, it's so much BS for you to try to get it to work. It's just not worth it.
That's why I'm glad the new wave is an OTK deck, because then at least there's like, you're actually playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, there is a back and forth.
It's like, it's not just either you win or you lose based on whether you manage to do the thing that you're supposed to be doing on the card text there. It's, yeah. All right. Oh, I guess we're going to have to wait until later to see that. I'm pretty sure that second card is in here somewhere. We just have to wait until later to see it. It must have gotten shuffled in the rest of them. Well, come forth, my Egyptian god. It's a spell card. The activation of this card and its effects cannot be negated or prevented by other card effects, nor can its effects be negated.
That's the same thing.
Well, no, it's the activation can't be negated, nor can the effect be.
Okay.
That's what the issue is.
So it's just okay.
Don't interact with me, motherfucker. I'm summoning a Egyptian god card.
Tilts glasses, starts chanting the ancient the sun god ritual mechanic. Be like, no, I'm doing this thing. Let me do it.
Special summon one divine beast monster from your hand, deck, or grave, ignoring its summoning conditions, and until the end of next turn, that monster is unaffected by your opponent's card effects and is not sent to the graveyard during the end phase if it would be sent there by its own effect.
Please, I think the only one that
let me keep my Egyptian god.
Isn't the only one, like, they all have that clause though, right? If they're summoned from the graveyard, they have to go back immediately at the end phase.
They're all, if they're special summon, they have to go to the graveyard in the end phase.
Okay.
You have to normal summon them. Or else
I like how there's so many restrictions for god cards, but then they're just like, they're not great.
Yeah.
You're playing them to meme.
It's very funny. If you special summon a monster whose original name is the Winged Dragon of Ra by this effect, its original attack and defense becomes 4,000. Please let me play my Egyptian god cards. You could
already had enough raw support.
You could banish this card from your graveyard, set one spell trap from your deck that mentions Slifer, Obelisk, or the Winged Dragon of Ra. It could be activated this turn. You can only use each effect once per turn. This is the most pushed card in the history of all time. And I don't think it's good either.
No, this is bad. This is just like, I want to play god cards. You're going to let me play god cards. Fuck you. It's my turn.
I mean, there are some really strong cards, specifically in the Ra archetype.
Yeah, because Ra's the only good one.
Yeah. I mean, Ra used to be the worst of them, but then they gave Ra a whole bunch of support cards that they only gave a few to Slifer and Obelisk for some reason.
Obelisk got like what, 2?
Obelisk got a couple, and some like generic ones. Obelisk and Slifer generally get generic ones for some reason.
That, as well as like, 10-year-old me would have lost their mind if they would go to the market today and see there's like a Slifer and an Obelisk structure deck.
No, not structure deck. They're starter decks, according to Konami. You're supposed to start on those things.
Nah. What do those even come with? What do those come with?
I
didn't know they were.
It's dog shit. They're so bad. I have them both. They're so bad.
Slipers. Oh, Egyptian god deck.
Yeah, according to Konami, they're just called the Egyptian god decks, but they're according to Konami, they're classified as starter decks. Isn't that crazy? And
yes, I'm totally gonna normal summon Breaker the Magical Warrior.
And those were the only starter decks on the market for a long time until they did the 2-player starter kit, which is also dog shit.
No, that one's really dog shit. This Chief, I am looking at this. This is so bad.
It's so bad. This one here is crazy for the archetype, but I think the archetype is so bad that it only makes it okay. There's some really good raw cards that you would want to go into. Like there's one of the raw cards just says Raw's unaffected this turn. It's you can't touch it.
But it's already going to be unaffected because of this card.
No, this card only protects them until the end of next turn.
That monster is unaffected by your opponent's card effects and it's not sent to the graveyard during the end phase.
Until the end of next turn.
Okay.
Yeah, so that only protects them for that long. You can set the one that protects it for even longer and just extend the time period that Ra stays on the field. And Ra is a pretty good card. With this effect, it's going to have 4,000 attack points. It has a removal effect that'll let you to blow up your opponent's field by paying life points. It could be worse.
You're telling me this is a go second card.
But I think what the problem with this card, at least the problem I have with this card, is that it completely like destroys the flavor of the Egyptian God cards by making it just like I get to treat them like any other card. I get to ignore all the restrictions that they have that makes them special.
Just again, I see an Egyptian card deck and I'm just like, nah, this is gonna be memes. Now granted, I did lose against an obelisk deck and they did the animation and I'm like, you know what? Kudos to you for pulling off that animation with one of the worst ones, but it's wild.
I do think one time I lost to a raw deck on the show that I did on Master Duel.
I have seen that one. It's losing against Raw though is like
it feels better than the
silly.
other two.
Yeah, like losing against Raw is like, okay, cool. You're 9,999. I deserve this loss. Whatever.
Slifer does have one good card, but it's the good card is its graveyard effect, which lets you draw 6. But okay. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I don't like it flavor wise, frankly.
No. This leaves us sour taste. Skull Servant support.
Skull Servants. This is King White Warrior. This is like clearly from some MMO, and I love it.
It's some MMO, some jank.
Look at his
might be
leg
AI.
there.
This is AI. Holy.
Is this AI?
It looks it. Unless his leg is like an extra foot long.
Oh my god, where is his arm coming from? I'm just realizing. Oh no, this might be AI. Damn it.
Yeah, it is.
Damn it. Ah. Okay, well, it's already on here, so let's go. It's a level 3, which I feel like is not fitting with the white.
No, they're all level
1. Although, is Lady in White a 3? Or is it a 1?
First of all, I got to spell white correctly.
White. While you do that, I'm going to read. One Skull
Servant.
Servant.
It's a 3.
It's a 3? Okay, yeah. So I guess it's fitting in that theming. One Skull Servant or King of the Skull Servants plus 1 warrior monster. Why a warrior? Why would we want a warrior? I don't want to play a warrior. I mean, I guess you could play Armageddon Knight. That's a warrior. That's a dark that would actually help the Skull Servant archetype.
That's probably the only one you have.
I'm also noticing no way to make this card, so you just have to run polymerization.
Oh, not like this.
If this card destroys a monster by battle, you can destroy one monster your opponent controls. Bad. Gains 1,000 attack for each King of the Skull Servants or Skull Servant in your graveyard. Bad. I mean, I guess that's just the same effect as regular King of the Skull Servants. Can attack up to the number of zombie monsters in your opponent's graveyard with different names, but it cannot attack directly.
No, then what's the point?
To clear the way for King of the Skull Servants to attack, I think.
Nah, this card sucks.
I think the reason why it says up to the number of zombie monsters in your opponent's graveyard is because you're expected to play Zombie World here.
You know,
but I don't want to.
If I see Zombie World, I'm already gonna have Doom King Baldarok, and fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and have Edlich on the field.
Yeah, like what?
Like there's just better
here?
options here.
Like you want me to play? You want me to play Whites, not Zombie World?
And then again, you would have to have Armageddon Knight, which is probably, like, as you said, the only one that would benefit.
Yeah.
And a hard polymerization.
I guess you could use Armageddon Knight to send the Necro Princess, Necroworld Banshee.
Yeah, Necroworld Banshee gets Zombie World.
And then you have the material to make Skull Servant if you have a Skull Servant in hand and a polymerization. That's the worst part, is that there's no fusion spell or like way to hard fusion this.
I counter with Ash Blossom or Imperm on Armageddon Knight. Have fun.
Oh, I think we're done with this one.
Yeah, this. Oh, Egyptian gods again!
Whoa, bad. Rage of the Egyptian gods. A quick play.
Okay.
Also, this has like 5 pixels in it total, but we're moving on. You can only activate this card while you have 1,000 life points or less. Banish your entire field and extra deck face down. And if you do, special summon Obelisk, Slifer, or Winged Dragon the Raw. Ignoring their summoning conditions, neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation.
So, this is a Hail Mary. Please don't hurt me.
This is a much worse version of the card we were looking at earlier.
This is
dog.
This shit's so ass. It's so bad.
This shit's so ass.
Like, would you?
I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I'm moving on.
Go ahead.
Oh fuck! Hyper polymerization. Maybe this is what you're using to make the Skull Servant.
Sure.
It's a quick effect. Quick effect spell card. A quick effect fusion card is not a good sign. I gotta say.
Not fusion.
During either player's main phase. Okay, so it's only during the main phase. That's good. Being able to do it during the battle phase is like untenable. For a fusion spell.
Yeah.
Fusion summon 1 fusion monster from the extra deck by banishing the materials listed from your hand, field, and or grave. That fusion summon monster is unaffected by your opponent's card effects for the rest of the turn. You can't print this.
No.
You understand that, right? You can't print this. No, you can't do this. This is the best fusion spell ever printed.
Being able to summon on my opponent's turn, granted, it is during main phase, so
yeah, so it's not
Typhoon standby.
Like yeah, and it's like no, it's not during the battle phase, so you can't do battle phase shenanigans. But the fact that it is a generic fusion spell that can just make a fusion with material from hand, field, or grave. But at least it doesn't say deck.
Yeah, if I dump my graveyard full of materials, or hell,
this goes crazy in Tearlament, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tearlaments, but you know, you get stopped halfway through your Tearlament plays, like you still have Kit Cal on board, but you have everything else ready to go. Fuck it, you go crazy here. And then being unaffected.
It's just like unaffected? Like what the fuck?
Like by opponent's card effects. So everything. So yeah. It's just the towers. So yeah, this is
like just the towers for the turn.
Crazy in tiers.
What the fuck? Why would you?
I think it only works in tier.
Why would you want this card to exist?
Because you want to win more.
I guess. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Compulsory
okay, so
portal blast.
They said that this was supposed to be the upgraded version of the original.
Yeah, compulsory evacuation device.
Yeah, they were like, I want to make a better one.
Yeah, that's why I put it in here, because compulsory evacuation device is I think a late DM addition to the card pool.
Yeah, so they came out near the very end.
Yeah, but it was not. I think it was before GX, so I'm putting it in. If it was during GX, sue me. Target 1 monster from the field, graveyard, or banishment. Shuffle it into the deck. If this card is in your graveyard, you can return 1 monster you control to the hand. Then set this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only activate 1 per turn and only once that turn. Okay, this seems fine.
It seems fine.
It's a normal trap card, so I could see Labyrinth running something like this.
Oh yay! I love that. I mean, considering that there's really not a way to get a lot of your Labyrinth cards from banishment back, unless you really want to go out of your way.
Well, that's actually kind of funny too. Yeah, you could use it to recycle some of your own materials.
Oh my god! Yeah, you could recycle Big Welcome after using its graveyard effect.
Yeah.
No,
or
no,
use it as an interruption as for opponent's turn. That's.
Okay, I don't I don't hate it. I think it's fine. I don't see any. It's not OP. I'll tell you that much. It's not OP like the last one. Yeah, no. In that second sentence is just labyrinth, like is oozing at the mouth.
Yeah. That's really interesting. I like this one actually. Okay, yoink. This is a quick play spell card. Target one card in your opponent's graveyard, put it in your graveyard. You can only activate one yoink per turn. Again,
this only works in mirror.
You cannot print a card like this, but not because it's too powerful, but because this just goes against the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! When you're writing Yu-Gi-Oh cards, you have to imagine someone playing the cards without any sleeves. So imagine two players are playing without any sleeves, and you're like, I target your card and put it in my graveyard. Now, whose card is that? You just have to remember. And the tournament organizer doesn't know. Right?
I think the best way to use this would be to have your graveyard and then their yoinked card beside your graveyard.
Just goes beside it,
yeah, and the banishment zone above that one, so that way you have the distinguishing features of this is my graveyard.
This is the extra graveyard.
This is the extra graveyard and the banishment zone. Just so that way, if the judge comes over, you have to explain the situation to them every time. And I would hate using this card.
Yeah, no, like you just can't print a card like this because it just doesn't gel with the way Yu-Gi-Oh works as a card game. But also it's like a worse DD Crow.
It is.
Except for like in instances where it does let you plus on the card if it has a banish effect.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, it is just a worse DD Crow because you can't. It's not a hand trap, right? It's quick play speed, but it's not a hand trap, so you have to set it first.
I'm trying to think of a situation where you could use this because, like, I would say in a mirror match against Tier, but this is turn one presumably, unless they try to turn to you, or on your turn, they activate all of the Tier cards in their hand because they're tier 0, of course.
Yeah. I could see that. It's just like...
That's the only time I could see it, because then you could use their tier, since it's technically in your graveyard, as material.
You're like opening up a disastrous gameplay area for little to no benefit to the game.
It doesn't do anything. This also just requires you to be playing the exact deck to use their cards, because like if my opponent's playing Dynamorphia and I'm playing I don't know, Rika, what am I going to do with Dynamorphia cards?
Like, also, like here's a rulings question for you. If you target a card in your opponent's graveyard and put it in your graveyard, does that count as it having hit the graveyard, it having been sent to the graveyard? You know,
don't do this to me,
right? Like that's like you got to think about these things as you make a card.
I don't think it. Okay, according to the rules, it has not gone from anywhere else. It's still technically a graveyard, so it has not moved.
It was sent to a graveyard. If you're using the specific wording, sent to a graveyard, I think those ones would trigger. Like the ones from field to graveyard obviously wouldn't trigger, but sent to graveyard, I think it would trigger.
Yeah, if this card is sent to the graveyard, it doesn't specify which graveyard
or from where.
That would be some anime bullshit. They would say, be like, exactly, Yugi, but it's actually my graveyard that activates. Like, what? What do you mean?
I sent your card from your graveyard to mine. This would be something Bakura would do.
It would be a Bakura, like, or some filler character.
Your graveyard. That card did not go to your graveyard now, but it went to mine.
Nah, that's gonna be like Joey's estranged cousin from Brooklyn. That's why it has Yoink in the title. I'm just reinforcing stereotypes here, but like it's just like Yoink, I yoinked your card, Joey.
He's also possessed by the Millennium Ring.
All right. Moving on. I like how this one sentence and it's just like we talk about it for like 10 minutes.
It just boggles the mind. All right.
Oh, hey,
Red Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. This one has a little bit of white on the side here. That's weird. I don't know why there's a little bit of white on the side here. I guess they cropped it poorly. Anyways, Red Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. again, we're just making Blue Eyes cards into Red Eyes cards, except we misspelled it because in the Max dragons, they're supposed to be all caps Max. The A and the X are supposed to be capitalized. So, a little bit of a mistake there. Hope someone got fired for that blunder.
Isn't this just Chaos Max's effect, if I'm reading this correctly?
You get to summon this card with Chaos form. Must be ritual summon your opponent cannot target monsters you control for attacks, except for this one. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. The original controller of this card takes no damage from battle or effects involving this card. This card attacks or is attacked, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the card's original attack. I think so.
Well, Chaos Max has the piercing.
Yeah, this isn't Chaos Max. Yeah, that's right. This isn't. I'm trying to remember if what because there's also there's also Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon. It's like without the Max. I'm trying to remember if that's what they're going for here. So it prevents your opponent from targeting any monsters for this one for attacks, which is like basically nothing, but it does have 3,500, so that's something. This card cannot be destroyed by battle, which sure. So it protects itself from Chaos Max, Blue Eyes Chaos Max, which is neat.
Yeah.
Original control of this card takes no damage from battle or effects involving this card, so again, protects itself from Chaos Max. So even if you get moved into defense position where Chaos Max does double piercing, it protects it from that.
Yeah.
This card attacks or is attacked, inflict damage to your opponent equal to this card's original attack.
There's the Red Eyes flavor text.
Yeah, okay. Actually, this is really interesting because this card is basically meant to counter Chaos Max. Blue Eyes Chaos Max. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep doing that.
No, that's fine. That's it's doable. I don't hate it.
It's not good, but
no, it's not good.
If you're doing like a for fun game of Red Eyes versus Blue Eyes, it's a pretty decent card.
I feel like Joey would like summon this, and Kaiba would be like, "Wait, what? You have a ritual card?" It's like, yeah, I learned from the best, or I don't know, some BS-ery.
He did do a ritual card in the Waking the Dragons arc. That's the suit he wears. The cosplay suit. The Red Eyes cosplay suit. That's a ritual card.
I mean, look, there could be worse. There could be worse ritual cards, and I think this one I think actually is pretty good, considering that you have Blue Eyes Chaos Max and Magician of Black Chaos Max, which I forgot exists. But yeah,
there is one issue though, and that's that Chaos form. You can only use as its bonus thing. It can only use Blue Eyes or Dark Magician as its materials. So you could, and because it has to match the levels exactly, you could only use Dark Magician. So you can't use Red Eyes for the material of this card, which is unfortunate.
But
you can use Dark Magician.
Yeah, that's true. I was about to say it says and or, so yeah. I guess it would work.
So you would have to use Dark Magician as material for this, which means you're gonna have to play a Dark Magician in your Red Eyes deck. But you might be doing that anyways just to make Dragoon.
I was about to say, like, you summon this first and then Dragoon for like cherry on top.
Yeah,
and you're good to go.
I like this, but it's not good. I have to make that clear. It is not a good card in the modern Yu-Gi-Oh. But as like a flavor-wise thing for a Blue Eyes versus Red Eyes, you could maybe make a starter kit on this, a 2-player starter kit of like Red Eyes versus Blue Eyes, and this card would be decent for that.
Yeah.
All right. Magician of the Millennium Faith.
Okay, so this is an illusion card, so I do like that. And it is a Millennium archetype, so it has the Millennium tech. Correct me if I'm wrong, the fate, like this used to be a flip, and then when it's flipped up, you get a spell card from your grave.
Yeah, that's what the original one does.
Yeah. But continue.
It's an illusion. It's level 4. That's important. This card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by battle. Okay. I guess that's for defense purposes. You can only use each of the following effects of Magician and Millennium Faith once per turn. You can discard this card, add an Exod or Obliterate spell trap from your deck to your hand. That's what all the... So that lets you get all the new cards, which are all Exod cards for some reason. And then you can get the old Obliterate cards as well. I think there's more than one. Anyways, if your opponent activates a spell or effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can pay 2,000 life points or reveal 1 Millennium Ankh. Special summon this card in defense position. That's kind of cute. I like that. Because that's how a lot of the other Millennium cards work, except they're like in the back row and then they summon themselves to the field by paying 2,000 life points or revealing Millennium Ankh. But this one's in the graveyard, and it's like, if your opponent activates a spell effect, you get to bring it to the field. That's cute. I like that. And then quick effect, if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish it, then change the battle position of 1 monster on the field.
I like this.
I don't like that second effect because I don't like that it has 2 graveyard effects that are kind of conflicting. That's weird to me.
I mean, it's one or the other, and having the illusion flavor text, this also connects the illusion cards with the Millennium archetype, so we still have that connection with Yugi.
Yeah,
it's still good.
I just don't like the I feel like it's a little bit confused as far as what it wants to be doing if it has both of those graveyard effects. You don't typically see a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards that have like more than one graveyard effect. I don't know. I think it's a little strange.
If anything, I would keep the pay 2,000 life points graveyard effect over the secondary. I think that's what I would take. Yeah. I think that's just because I think they were trying to combine the Millennium archetype and the quick effect of most of the illusion monsters have graveyard banishment effects, and they're all quick effects. So I think they were trying too much to shove it all in here.
Yeah.
So I think it's just good enough to have the illusion typing and the illusionist ability to not be destroyed by battle, and then having the rest of it be Millennium archetype stuff. And it still works perfectly fine. And it's better than a flip monster. Good God, it's better than a flip monster.
I like that it discards itself to add a card, and then it has the graveyard effect that sets itself up pretty well. I really like the fact that you have to reveal the Millennium Ankh, actually, because you would have already activated the Millennium Ankh to get Exodia on the field, the unstoppable Exodia. Yeah. So it actually rewards you for having a second copy in your hand, which you quite frequently do get in the deck. I like that. I think that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think take away this the last quick effect, and I think we got like a good 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I like this a lot. All right, next up. This one's so weird. I think someone took this from like some other card game and tried to put this in. Obviously they use Legend's art, but like this card, Genie of the Lamp, it's a divine type monster.
Huh? Oh God, it is
divine attribute, but it's a fiend.
Okay.
You may only summon 1 genie per duel. This card's summon cannot be negated. When summoned, you may grant the 3 of the following effects. They happen in succession: Wealth, draw 2 cards; Power, take control of an opponent's monster; Knowledge, look at your opponent's hand and discard 1 card of your choice from their hand. That's not how Yu-Gi-Oh cards are written.
No, it's not how it's written, as well as like this doesn't work because if it was like choose 1 of the 3, by all means, which would make sense. Well, I mean, I guess they're like, well, Genie gives you 3 wishes, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But using all 3, especially if I'm going first, I don't do anything with the second effect.
Yeah, I gotta say, Magic player detected. This is written like a Magic card. This is so Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, because like part 1 and part 2, or part 1 and 3, fine, by all means.
And just like the way they blocked out the you may only summon 1 genie per turn, like they made a space there, and then they also made keywords for each of these effects: wealth, power, and knowledge.
Yeah,
like,
the keywords are
Magic.
It's a Magic thing.
You created a Magic card and you wanted to make it into a Yu-Gi-Oh card for some reason.
The summon cannot be negated, but I could still Ash Blossom.
Yeah,
that's first effect.
I will say this is literally all 3 effects of Triple Tactics talent.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Oh my God,
it's all 3 effects of Triple Tactics talent.
It's just not going to be negated.
Yeah, you can't print a card like this. You can't print a card like this because 1, it can't be a divine attribute and not be an Egyptian god. 2, you can't have your card text like this, and 3, that's way too crazy.
Like, I get it, talents is pretty good, but like that's requiring the opponent to do an action.
Yeah.
Well, this one's just a freebie.
Yeah, and also you can only choose 1 of the 3 instead of all 3 at once.
Yeah, like getting all 3 is more wild than just the one of, because like, yeah, I draw two, but like if I try to look at your hand, I'm going to activate all my hand traps and you get nothing.
I mean, I guess at least it takes up your normal summon, but like still.
Still,
crazy.
yeah, I mean, it's 1800 attack. Like, what else are we doing with this?
This is so stupid. Okay, moving on. Ooh, here's a cool one. Legendary Guilford the Lightning. I like Guilford.
Considering that they released Flame Swordsman support, I am down for this.
Yeah. I think Guilford's neat. Warrior Link. It's a Link 3. It's got bottom left and left arrows. It's 2+ effect monsters. Warrior monsters you control gain 300 for each equipped spell equipped to them. Boo. You can use sorry, I hate effects that gain attack and just like that's all they do. This is gonna go crazy in Benkai Turbo. You can only use each of the following effects of Legendary Guilford the Lightning once per turn. If this card is Link Summon, you can add one equipped spell from your deck to your hand with an effect which makes the equipped monster gain attack.
Oh,
wow, it was almost a good card.
It was almost. Well, I mean, there are some cards that give you like attack, but then there's like a clause in there. Yeah, I mean.
If this card is destroyed, you can equip it to a warrior monster you control as an equipped spell, which gives it 2600 attack. Then, if this card was destroyed by battle, you can destroy the monster that destroyed this card.
Okay, that last part's kind of neat.
That's funny.
Then. You need to have the then.
Yeah, you also need to equip to it instead of it should say also, I think. I feel like they meant to say also, but they said then, so that's what they said.
It's almost good. It's almost like this goes crazy in Isold. What's it? What's the my brain's not working. The Fujoshi Knights of the Round Table.
Oh yeah, Infernoble Knights.
Infernoble. Yeah, this goes crazy with like Charles and all that, but that's about it.
I forgot that Isold is still legal in Master Duel.
It is, and I hate it because I see Isold and I'm like, you're about to do some crazy shit, and I need to negate that like right now.
We got rid of that shit a long time ago in TCG.
Lucky. Listen, I'm having to deal with Isold and Predaplant Verte like constantly.
I can't believe Master Duel still doesn't have Fiendsmith, but I'm getting off topic.
It's fine. We'll talk about that later. Because like
they're getting Fool-Aw, so they don't have Fiendsmith yet.
Yeah, they showed the selection pack, and I'm just like, cool. I guess I'll spend my gems because I don't want to. I'll just craft the 3 Fool-Aws. I'm not.
Oh, it's so awesome that you have 6 Max C now.
Hey, let's go.
Now you have as many Max C as you have counters to Max C.
Listen, it's gonna be emergency ban Max C like tomorrow. I'm gonna wake up in the morning and see like a million YouTube videos be like, they screwed up Master Duel. No more Max C's, no more Molcharmies. I don't know. Anyway,
it'll be I haven't done a Master Duel ban list react in a while because I'm so disconnected from Master Duel. I don't feel like I have much to say about it. But if they ban Max C, it's gonna be a party. It's gonna be a celebration.
I will be so happy because I mean, there's no reason to have 6 of them. But back to the video at hand. This card is almost good. It's just a 300 attack, and then the equip spells. It goes hard in Infernoble Knights, but that's all I could think of.
I'm gonna say it. This card is bad. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think the 300 attack gain is nothing. The search for an equip spell would be good if it just said equip spell, but the gain attack part really limits your options as far as good ones. And because like Infernoble Knight doesn't play the equip spells that gain attack, as far as I know. They used to play Smoke Grenade of the Thief.
No, yeah, you're right. They don't. They just bring out Charles and then equip Charles to it.
Yeah. And then the second effect requires you to have a warrior monster on field to equip to, and then it gives it 2600 attack, which is a lot of attack, but that's all it does. It doesn't provide protection or anything. And then it has a then clause for the destruction, which would actually be the first good effect on the card, but they made it a then clause.
We love reading.
I think this one sucks, especially for a League 3. If this was a League 2, I'd be like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But a League 3? You're expecting me to invest 3 cards into this? Wow.
I like how a lot of these cards have been Joey's.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, Joey.
desperately trying to make Joey's archetypal cards like better. You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for a Rocket Man card.
I'm not surprised that the fans can't make Joey's cards playable because even Konami can't make them playable.
They're like, fuck. I mean, even the official creators are like, I don't know what to do with this deck. This deck sucks.
How do I fix this? While making it distinct from all the other DM archetypes.
Don't get me wrong. This captures Joey's Unga Bunga big attack, big number, but like,
I think it should have a random coin flip in there for no reason.
You know what? Not wrong. It should have a coin flip. Coin flip or a die. Just random luck.
And it should have a burn effect like a Red Eyes card.
Let's go. Combine it.
Just
go
like
for
it's
the
everything.
Red Eyes.
It's everything Joey ever. All right, next up. We got a new Goblin card. So it's not like, like a Goblin card, but it's like a card with goblins on it.
It's not Goblin Biker. It's like Upstart Goblin.
Too many cooks in the kitchen. A counter trap. If your opponent declares an attack, resolve this card's effect in sequence depending on the number of monsters in attack position your opponent controls. Your opponent's at 3+. Your opponent's monsters lose 100 attack times the number of monsters your opponent controls. 4+. Your opponent selects one monster they control, and if they do, that monster can't declare an attack this turn. 5+. Each time you take battle damage this turn, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the damage you took. 6+. Send one monster you control to the graveyard, and if you do, and your opponent controls 6 or more monsters at the end of this battle phase, you win the duel.
You would just win if they have 6.
Unless your opponent has a way to remove one of the monsters from the field.
Yeah, because they wouldn't be able to... It's almost okay.
But also, how many times does your opponent have 6 monsters on the field at the same time? Like, it is possible, but it's the max amount you can have.
I'm going to use Master Duel Yubel as an example. So you would have an inboard of Yubel would be Apollo. That's one. Barone.
Oh man, you guys still have Appaloosa and Barone.
Yeah. Apollo is wild. I hate it, especially in Yubel. It's like, cool, I can't do anything this turn. So Apollo, Barone, at least 2 Phantoms, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like maybe another Yubel. Like
it turns out that getting the last monster on the field is pretty difficult unless it's not an extra deck monster. Because you need like 2 monsters. Most of the time, you need 2 monsters to make an extra deck monster.
Yeah.
So there's always like 1 space left open, usually, unless you have like a particularly good main deck monster that you actually want to have on the field for some reason.
You could maybe do it in Branded.
Yeah.
Because Branded is Mirror Jade, Masquerade, Moraload. I'm gonna say that there's a negated Albaz. And maybe like 1 more fusion and 1 more generic. It's still like Branded is gonna be probably Branded and Yubel is probably gonna be like the only decks I can think of off the top of my head that would have a full 6 monster on board.
Yeah.
And everything else is gonna have like 3.
Every other effect on here is terrible.
Yeah.
Like 3, 4, and 5, you might as well not have on there. It might as well just be the last effect.
Yeah, because burn damage, fine. Can't declare an attack, okay. The number 3 doesn't make any sense. Your opponent wants to lose 100 attack times the number of monsters your opponent controls. So they're losing 100 times 3. They're losing 300 attack.
Yeah, I mean it still works. So they go in sequence. So even if you go up to 6, they'd be losing 600 attack.
Now,
which
if
is
it's
not very much either.
If it's 1,000, then good God, fine. But then at that point,
you could maybe go like 500, and that would be probably like where you'd want it to be.
I was about to say, if you don't attack, you'd be fine.
Why is this a counter trap?
Yeah, this would be just a regular. This would be just regular trap.
It should just be a regular trap, but I guess they made it a counter trap so it couldn't be reacted to.
Yeah, it couldn't be. You can't react to a counter trap unless you have the counter trap.
Typically, a counter trap counters something. This doesn't counter anything.
I mean,
I guess it counters an attack. Maybe that's why they looked at negate attack or something. Is negate attack a counter trap? I don't remember.
I don't think it is. I think it's just a regular battle trap. It is it's a counter.
Yeah, okay. So they looked at negate attack and they're like, okay, so I can make this a counter trap because this is like a negate attack, kinda.
It
feels weird though. It feels
weird. Okay, I have time for one more.
Okay. Gold
It's
twin
fucking
dragon.
red eyes again.
It's red eyes and it's blue eyes.
Okay, so the Yaoi fanfiction came to life. I'm glad that Kaiba and Joey made amends and they're now sharing decks.
And they became gold.
Why are they gold?
I don't know.
Millennium? This is a Millennium archetype thing?
I have no idea. It's level 8, so it's I think Kaiba's winning. He's the top.
He is definitely the top. Especially
It's a light too.
Attack stat.
He's definitely the top. That's a cute stat line. The 3,000, but with the 400 from the 2,400 that Red Eyes has. That's cute.
Yeah.
It's a fusion that requires blue eyes and red eyes specifically. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. This card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase to represent the fact that there's 2 dragons in there. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the destroyed monster in the graveyard.
This is simple. It's cut and dry.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that.
But it's not good at all. It's like
No.
it's like a Flame Wingman.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a better Flame Wingman.
It's a slightly better Flame Wingman.
Considering that Flame Wingman also requires 2 vanillas.
Yeah.
I think this is what it's trying to do. And again, we're having that Yaoi fanfiction going crazy here. I don't know what we're doing with this. Like
Nothing.
This is just the most. This is like you get like vanilla ice cream, but it's like off-brand. So it's like it's the faintest taste of vanilla. Like you're like, man, this could be something really good, but it's okay. I can deal with it right now.
I like the fan art.
Fan art's nice.
That's pretty cool. It looks
with the
looks
exception
nice.
With the exception of the maybe 2, maybe 3 AI ones, the fan art in this video has been pretty top notch.
And the exception of the ones that are clearly just other Yu-Gi-Oh arts that are being reused. But that's I think that's a reasonable way to do things when you're making custom art.
Yeah,
or custom cards. I mean,
out of all these cards, again, we saw so many Joey cards. Holy, I don't know why there were so many Joey cards. I did not mean to pick a lot of Joey cards. I just picked whatever was trending.
Yeah, I did not organize them. I just went them in the order that I found them from the list that you sent me. So,
thank you, subreddit custom Yu-Gi-Oh cards for like some of these somewhat stinkers. Some of them were pretty good. And again, just take it with a grain of salt with what we say. We're having fun here.
Yeah, no, I think if you have the bravery and creativity to make a custom card, you're okay in my book. But also probably don't use the AI art, please.
Yeah,
you're just actively destroying our planet.
And if I'm not mistaken, like you said, there's like 40 or something. I think we only went through like maybe 15 or so. So like I am down to like look at the rest
do a
at
part
a later
2
time.
or something.
Yeah, because I'm down to talk. I don't want to say talk trash, but like if there's another Red Eyes card, I'm going to lose my mind.
I think you're gonna lose your mind.
Can you give me a preview of the next one, but just like flash it?
Yeah, we'll do a it's like a my brother to be final Yahoo. It's the final card. There it is. It's a Red Eyes.
All right. Okay. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Hey, where can people find you?
You can find me, Grey Cat Cafe, on all socials. I am on Twitter, Blue Sky, Twitch, YouTube, all the same name. And yeah, I stream most of the time, Monday through Friday. And yeah, I play all the card games, especially Yu-Gi-Oh. I try to do Master Duel, but it's kind of stinky right now. So I play other card games to replace it, like Balatro.
Balatro is a very good card game. Make sure to check Gray out, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey there, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Got a lot more for you if you want them. Just hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notifications. I'd also appreciate if you left me a like and a comment, maybe share the video around with your friends. You can also follow me on all usual social media sites. Just check out my website in the description below for more info. My videos are funded by my patrons and YouTube members, whose names you'll see scrolling by in these credits here. For just $1 a month, you too could find yourself here, trapped in my end screen for all eternity. In particular, I'd like to thank Haru Hayes, Fleakill, Frog Prince Michael, Jeremy Coatney, the Almighty Ferret Lord, and Fire Mizuni. A big thanks to all my other patrons and unto my little community as a whole. Remember to be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful whatever time it is for you. Bye-bye!